Welcome in. It is 7:05 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. I can do some Mark Levin yelling if you're looking for Mark Levin, but we're going for another hour here this evening on Super Talk as we get ready for the State of the Union speech. We are live in the beautiful city of Smyrna, Tennessee, down here at Legend Steakhouse for the Steak of the Union. Dan Mandis is somewhere looking for a well-done steak and some ketchup. I think Matt Murphy, he's making the rounds. We got Chad Benson in the building as well. And this is going to be a great night, my friends, and we are excited to be down here in Smyrna, Tennessee with the gang here in the best audience in America. We have a lot to look forward to. There are going to be a bunch of special guests tonight. We know that the men's hockey team is coming. We know that the women's hockey team was invited because Donald Trump didn't want to get impeached for not inviting them. And then they declined the invite. But what other guests are we expecting at the State of the Union this evening? Some of the people are predicting
El Chapo.
Erica Kirk.
El Chapo.
You
think El Chapo will show up? No, I know El Mecho's dead.
Mecho's dead.
I think El Chapo is still alive.
Do you think he brings up Mexico? You got me. He
absolutely
squirreling.
should, because I think him taking out El whatever the hell his name is.
Mecho.
All right, so I had it right. I think that is actually a really good. Well, it was Mexico that did it, but I think that helping Mexico take out one of the leaders of the drug cartels, that's good.
Well, and the U.S.'s fingerprints are all on it. It was a Navy SEALs team that helped train those Mexican military officials. They put them under lock and key, no phones, so that way no leaks happened in the planning. And now Mexico's a bit on fire.
Yeah.
But I think that Mexico has to get worse before it gets better. And I think that the American people, we can disagree about a lot of things. I don't think many Americans would disagree about going after the drug cartels or how Donald Trump has made life harder for them.
Okay, so do you think this is going to be a great litmus test for the Democrats? Do you think that if Donald Trump talks about taking out El Mencho, then do you think that the Republicans will stand and applaud and the Democrats will sit in solemn silence at the death of El Mencho?
Yeah, I mean, I think they would be pissed. El Mencho would have voted Democrat and probably still will.
What Democrats are we talking about? Who's going to be there?
There's going to be some Democrats.
There's going to be some Democrats.
I doubt they'll stand for that.
I mean, I think
they may clap.
They won't stand for anything. The Democrats will not applaud Donald Trump.
Listen, if they wouldn't stand for that,
tonight.
if they wouldn't stand for that kid last year,
right,
or for police officers, they will stand for nothing. The question is, because they were even criticized on CNN for not standing for the little boy with cancer.
Yeah.
So,
but do you think that they learned their lesson a little bit?
See, that's what I'm thinking. Did they learn the lesson where they have to show a little bit more humility and think, okay, we can clap for certain things?
I think if the Democrats are learning anything, it's that they do have to come back a little bit more to the middle. And clapping for a young boy with cancer, that's a little bit more in the middle there. That's about as middle as it gets. Taking out drug cartel leaders, a little bit more in the middle.
Yeah, Chad, you use the term humility. I would call it just be human.
Yeah.
Just be human.
Well, that's a hard thing to do for them.
Speaking of humans, I was thinking about, with y'all's permission, maybe walking around the room and getting some reaction from the
Sure, absolutely.
Go for it.
Absolutely.
All right, so y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to find people that maybe want to comment or willing to comment.
You got to run like Donahue.
Just boop, 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 boop.
That's exactly right.
Is that how Donahue used to do it?
But you're going the wrong way.
I have no idea. All right, so if anybody's got any, all right, so who wants some? I'm going to find. Oh, this is. I found my Huckleberryus. What is your name, ma'am?
Jen.
Jen?
She's got her name.
Get my YouTube name.
What's your YouTube name?
Cosmo Kramer.
Cosmo Kramer on the YouTubes, y'all.
Okay, so Matt, just so you know, she spends an abundance of time in the YouTube chat. She's a genuine YouTube chatter.
And it gets a little crazy over there in the YouTube chat, does it not?
Not us.
Oh, no.
What are you? What are your biggest hopes for tonight? Do you have any hopes?
Green gets kicked out.
You want Al Green booted? Do you think a Democrat will get the boot tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't help themselves. Does any Democrat applaud? Well, let me put it this way: does any Democrat not named Senator John Fetterman applaud the president?
No. Just John.
You think John will do it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So all right, there's Cosmo Kramer who says.
I think she's got a great point. I think that the only Democrat, especially in the Senate, that will clap would be John Fetterman.
Who had it on their bingo card 2 years ago that John Fetterman would be the most rational sounding Democrat.
You mean the guy that opened up his debate in the evening with "Good morning"?
Yes,
Yes.
that guy.
I don't think any of us did.
I don't think anybody had that on the bingo card, but apparently he is the guy. All right, anyone else? Anybody in the room? Mr. Bill from Hendersonville, what are your greatest hopes for this evening? Oh, how's that strawberry cake, by the way?
Oh, it's so good that you need to have a piece before you leave here tonight. By the way, I think the best thing about the State of the Union speech tonight is how many Democrats have refused to attend, and that means there's that many more vacant seats so the USA hockey team can sit there.
There you go.
See, I think it would be a master stroke to place the U.S. hockey team on the floor. Yeah, I don't think they're allowed to do that, but I think it would be awesome if they put them all in those empty seats there.
Do we know how many are coming tonight?
The hockey team?
Yeah.
I thought the whole team, right?
I didn't know how many, were coming or not.
How many people on a hockey team?
They had 22, I believe, on this one.
Okay. Well, there's about 30 Democrats not going.
So there's
8 seats left.
Good seats still available.
There you go.
30 Democrats sounds like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not that many. Right?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Not
There's
really.
gonna
Nobody knows whether 200 or so. Thereabouts in the House of Representatives.
70 Democrats are skipping now.
70 Democrats.
70?
Yeah.
They're up to 70. I hope all of them skip.
Yeah,
I think that would be that's the worst case scenario for the Democrats if all of them chose not to attend. You are such children.
The look is
right,
even
right.
amongst
It'd
people
be
who
a
may be
huge
Democrats going, come on.
Yeah, you can say you were elected to Congress. Yeah, we want a different guy in the White House. We don't like Trump. We hate his policies, yada, yada, yada. But you're paid to sit there and listen to it.
And I used to like to watch Nancy Pelosi do that sucking on a lemon look whenever Donald Trump would say something.
Remember when she tore up the speech?
And
Oh, my
tearing up
God.
the
How
speech.
childish was that? For
The
God's
ripping up of
sakes.
the speech. Oh, no. All right, so I'm continuing to walk through the room. This lady looks like she wants to make a comment. What is your name? No, she says no. She says
Really?
no.
Nobody
She
can
said-
see you. It's radio, hon.
She said she's afraid. Are you afraid of Dan Mandis, ma'am?
No.
I think she's the only person in the building I'm taller than. Thank you, ma'am, for coming.
How are you, sir?
Doing fine, thank you.
What is your name?
My name is Joe.
Where are you from, Joe?
I'm from Murfreesboro.
Yeah. And what do you think? What are your expectations for the speech tonight?
I wish I could say something really intelligent here.
Well, we don't. So why start?
I don't know. Just wait and see. I'm here for the food mostly.
What was your favorite part? Have you had the meal?
Not yet. I'm still waiting.
You're waiting on your food?
Still waiting on my food.
Well, you're going to love it. It's going to be really good. Well, that's why they're standing here. They're like, hey, where's our steak? We're ready to go. So we're going to get you fed, I promise.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to continue walking through the room. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
Has it ever been so hard to predict what will happen in a State of the Union? Is this a Trump phenomenon where we don't know if there's going to be outbursts? We don't know if the Democrats are going to attend?
Well, this is Donald Trump's greatest asset and perhaps a liability. I don't know. It's actually an interesting conversation. Donald Trump's unpredictability, I think it helps him in foreign policy, but when he's giving a speech or something like this, you don't know what he's going to do.
I mean, the unpredictability is, you nailed it, because there are people online who are saying he's probably going to announce that we're bombing Iran in the middle of the speech.
I know. I kept waiting for him to go.
That's a possibility.
Like he's got a button. Guess what? I just gave him the launch.
My! Can you imagine?
Could you imagine that? Balloons falling down. This is what it's going to be like tonight in Tehran.
A little "that was easy" button, right there
Yeah.
on the podium or the dais, whatever they call it. That would be fun.
Remember, what was it? The Hillary when she gave the reset button.
Oh yeah, but it said
I took it and I just put bomb.
Hey, guys, I'm over here in the corner of the room. I know that you can't see me, but I have found the most low-key dressed individual at the event tonight. He's got his Christian, white, straight, Republican, unvaxxed, gun owner, meat eater, male shirt on, and it says, "How else can I piss you off today?" There you go. And he's got his Trump hat on. What's your name, sir?
Dano Warner.
Dano, where you live?
I live right here in Smyrna.
Yeah. And what was your favorite part of the meal, Dano?
Baked potato.
The baked, yeah, I see that. I see that the steak's gone. A little bit of the baked potato is still there. What do you hope from the speech tonight?
I'm hoping that he will talk more about the economy and how he's done well in it, and then what's going on in the future.
Dano just brought up an excellent point, man, that I am curious your thoughts on. The speech is supposed to be in part looking back, but most of the speech should be looking forward, right? What do we think Trump's going to? I mean, I remember when I was a kid, most of the speech was, hey, this is what we want to do now. What, if anything, do you expect that Donald Trump will propose?
Well, number one, I think that it is important, though, for him to look back so that we remember where we were when Biden was president. Because, you look at the 9.7% inflation, whatever it was, at the highest. But moving forward, I think there's a lot of things that he needs to talk about. Healthcare is obviously still a big one. Obviously, we've been talking about affordability as well. With affordability, I think one of the questions that he needs to consider is, do you admit that there's still work to be done? Because there is still work to be done. You don't want to go and say, that affordability is finished and this is great, that I won. He's got to recognize that there's still some people that are unhappy with where they are from an affordability standpoint.
Yeah, you can't get up there and go full George Bush with a mission accomplished banner behind you when it comes to the economy. And, to an earlier point, you guys were talking about, does it impact you right now? He can talk about rent prices going down, but if I signed a lease 4 months ago, my rent is stationary.
And it depends where you live.
So these things do matter, but the reshoring of manufacturing, the bring back factories, the fact that he's planted a lot of seeds over the last year with the $18 trillion in investments coming in that we have yet to see fruit from, I think that there needs to be the reminding of that, and then there needs to be the planning for the future and laying out exactly what his vision is. Because I do think that there is a coherent vision at the end of the day.
I would like to think so. I mean, but again, you've got to 50-50. Look, this is where we came from. We've come from so far. Now, let me tell you where we're going and how we're going to get there and how a year from now we're going to look back and go, oh, my God, how amazing has this ride been? You got to stick with me. And I think the thing is, when you're honest with people and you tell them, look, it's not as great as I want it to be right now. We've got road bumps. We knew there was going to be. We threw a lot of stuff against the wall. Supreme Court has come out against us a couple times, but we've got some opportunities. When you're there, people are willing to give you that. If you come out, though, and like you say, the mission accomplished, and got nothing to worry about. It's the greatest of all time. It's never been better, or the hottest economy, and you don't feel it, that's a tough sell.
Han said something earlier, and I want to circle back to that, and he's dead on. It all depends on what mood he's in as to how he approaches some of these things. And I can see ways, like you mentioned the Supreme Court. He's had many more victories than he's had defeats.
Very true.
And so I would love it if he's got, Supreme Court, you were with me on this, I love you. You were with me on this, I love you. You were with me on this, I love you. Tariffs, not so much. I don't love you so much.
Kind of joking.
Joke about it. Use a little bit of humor, but address it in that way. I think the biggest contrast between booze and applause tonight will be about the SAVE Act. And I think he's got to talk about the SAVE Act and talk about getting some reliability in voting. I don't want to see just me. We get it on 2020. I know where he's at on 2020. I think his base knows where he's at on 2020. I don't think we need to harp on 2020. I think he's going to bring that up to address SAVE. But focus on the future. Talk about midterms. Talk about the importance of making sure that only American citizens are voting in federal.
Well, I think you bring up a good point. There's some gold in looking back, but we can't go too far back.
Yeah,
anything pre-January 2025, I think that we just need to put to rest for this evening.
I agree.
And we
agree.
But you do need to remind people that he shut down the border within like a week and a half.
Right.
And that's the point, is you've got to remind people, because this is about what you've accomplished, but also where we're going. We've hit the ground running. Now, perhaps, is the theme of this speech, the best is yet to come?
Well, one of the things that I think has gone against him is I'm going to stop, Ukraine. This is all going to be done before I even get in the office, potentially. It's going to be done quickly. Today, they celebrate the 4th year, if you will. It's a horrible celebration. Inflation's going to be all of the stuff he said he was going to do day one. Well, here they are a year in, and people are going to go, wasn't quite what we expected. And again, that's what he does. He goes big. He goes hard. It's hyperbolic at times. And I think some people, you've got to be able to, you've got to sell that vision to a certain extent, but you've got to also ground it in. We're not quite there. We got 7 out of the 10, but we didn't get all 10, but there's still work to be done.
If you want me to support regime change, let's talk about Ukraine, because I think there's one guy standing in the way for peace between Ukraine and Russia, and I think it's Zelensky.
Well, and, clearly Zelensky sadly doesn't read the room or the country or the world in as much as he won't concede. And, you either win the war and then you get everything you want, or you negotiate a peace and you have to give up some of the things,
Yep.
and he refuses to do so.
He won't
And-
do any of that. He was on TV today. I saw him. He's like, "Don't forget about me. Don't leave
And
Ukraine."
no one,
He
and
said-
none of us are suggesting that Vladimir Putin is not the bad guy. He was the aggressor. He was the guy that started all this. But what do you want? Do you want to see your people stop dying? Then you might have to give up a few.
You're in
things.
a meat grinder. But
Right,
yeah, he was on
that's right.
CNN doing an interview. They're like, what would you like to see from the State of the Union? He's like, I want Donald to still have our back. It's like,
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't got your back.
yeah, I don't think we should. Why are
You
we
know,
we're just
I-
throwing good money after bad?
Yeah. How about no more wars?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Or wars that we can support, like blowing up the cartels.
Yeah.
So
well, and I think there's a reason why we remember these key lines in political history, and I think you utilize the old. I mean, are you better? I mean, when you address the economy, are you better off than you were 2 years ago? I mean, let's talk about 2 years ago. Let's talk about today. And to Chad's point, don't claim victory, but say if you feel better off, then you know that we're moving in the right direction. Let's stay the course. And if the Democrats would get on board and concede just a little bit of this good economic policy, we could move even faster and move even better in the right direction.
We're about 40 minutes away from the State of the Union address. We're going to be carrying that whole speech live on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. In the meantime, we are down here at Legend Steakhouse in the wonderful city of Smyrna, Tennessee. You can listen to the broadcast anywhere, iHeartRadio, tune in, the FM dial. You can watch us as well, YouTube and Rumble. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're in the chat. We appreciate you guys. We're also looking at the text line as well. We'll answer some of those questions on the way. 28 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand, and we are live at Legend Steakhouse in Smyrna, Tennessee for the Steak of the Union as we gear up for President Trump's State of the Union. It's his first State of the Union of the second term, not to be confused with the joint session of Congress. We went over that ad nauseum last year.
Yes.
I think Matt Murphy was very upset that people were referencing it as the State of the Union. It wasn't. It was a joint session of Congress. This is a State of the Union.
Hand needs to do beard for Vance. Don't shave till JD is president. You want to go? You want to go full on ZZ Top?
I don't know.
Come on, man.
I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can pull off a long one like the Weaves. I think there's enough room.
The Weaves has a long beard. The first time I hired him, I thought, oh my Lord, what in the world have I hired?
Ken's beard is so long that if he went to the Caribbean, he's going to come back with braids and beads.
absolutely.
That's exactly right.
Very much like Pantera. Very rocker. It was Matt, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, 30 minutes, almost 30
So we got 30 minutes left.
We're 30 minutes and counting.
So the president's probably in a back room somewhere, reading his speech, having a Big Mac and a Diet Coke.
He's not there yet. No. He's not there yet.
He's
just-
talking to
he's
whatever
prepping.
hockey players are there, trying to figure out how he could have one of the gold medals.
So
They already gave him one. Did you see that today? They gave him one.
They gave Trump a gold medal?
Yeah, he was wearing it in the picture.
No
Sweet.
kidding. That's awesome.
That's nice.
If there's one thing Donald Trump likes, it's gold.
Did y'all
Yes.
hear this? I don't know if y'all were already here when the guy with the silver medal was on the show. So a gentleman showed up by the name of Greg, and he said, I heard you guys talking about the Olympics, and I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. And he holds up this little medal, and he hands it to me. His father won a silver medal in bobsled in 1928.
Oh my God!
Oh, is he still here?
And I don't
I
know.
would know his father
I
died.
don't know if he's still here or no. Oh, that's good. No, his father's passed away, Dan. It was 1928.
That was really rude of Dan.
I
was
was
bad.
asking
That
about
was-
the guy with the medal. Greg.
I don't know if
That's
Mr.
a
Greg's
nasty
still
one.
here or not, but he had a lot of photos of his dad. But the great thing was America did not have an official Olympic team. They did it sport by sport in 1928. And he said his father was in boarding school in Europe, and he saw there was a number one team, but they wanted to put together a second team. It was a 5-man bobsled team at the time. And he said that he saw an advertisement for any Americans in Europe that wanted an opportunity. He trained for like a month, and they won silver. Right behind the Americans who also won gold in the
That's
5-man
amazing.
bobsled.
It just sounds like the story for Cool Runnings.
It sounds almost fake, yes, but yeah, it does
With
sound
less,
like Cool
with
Runnings.
less Jamaicans and no John Candy.
And the 5-man bobsled was so dangerous that they shifted to a 4-man bobsled 4 years later, and then considered eliminating the sport altogether. I learned all of this today.
Oh, that's crazy.
I've been down on bobsledding since they wussified it.
But
We need 5-man teams.
these these guys were. It was more. They were forward facing, unlike what is basically a big toboggan. It was not encapsulated, and they were head first.
It was like Cousin Eddie.
It was like Cousin
But
Eddie,
with five of them
with
heading down a
dudes
hill.
heading down, and he
Yeah.
was the brakeman. So.
That's sick.
That's
Brakeman.
one of our loyal listeners, Mr. Greg, who says he loves the show and loves everybody on it. So that is
awesome.
Or loves
Very
the
nice.
station.
You know,
Very
you know
nice.
what I've wondered? So Trump has installed all of this gold all over the place. Do you think that the next president will actually remove all the gold?
Yes.
I do.
I do too.
Really?
I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I don't.
It looks great.
Look, I don't. I'm not a fan of it.
I'm not a fan
I'm
of
not a
gold.
fan of
Really?
it.
No. It's a Persian
I'm not a fan
palace.
of it. Dan.
I love gold, and if anybody has some to give, I'd love to have it. However, I wouldn't want it all over the office.
No, it's like it's
You don't
a bit
think
much.
you don't think the Oval Office looks better now than it ever has?
I don't mind the Oval Office. I don't like all of the little gold flake, like little accoutrement that he's putting over doorways and stuff like that. I just don't. I mean, I just don't care for it. I mean, it's aesthetic. I mean, I love the guy, but I just don't care for it.
It's a personal choice, man. Some people like gold,
well,
some people don't.
and here's the thing: the political left wants to freak out about it, but every president in the history of the presidency has done their own thing with the White House. I mean, and presidents have done this since the beginning of time, since the beginning of the White House.
That's
so it's
part
not
of the
that big
thing.
of a
You
deal.
ran, you got to do
Yeah,
something.
yeah, that's
For our
exactly.
host, Trump has
I-
officially departed the White House.
Trump has officially departed the White House.
Thank you, RJ, for that breaking news.
So I'm a brushed nickel guy.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
if I
know.
was gonna do the Oval Office, I would, with all due respect to all the opulent gold, I would put in a little brushed nickel.
Okay.
It's a man of the people, and I think brushed
Well, you're
nickel is more
mid-century
people.
modern.
I'm more of a mid-century modern antique brass kind of guy. Antique brass, that
The
brush,
shiny.
No, not the shiny. The antique. It's got a little. The
Okay.
shine's been taken off of it.
Jokes
Yeah.
aside, though, has anybody done more to upgrade the White House than President Trump in this first year of his second term?
He most certainly. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the ballroom. I mean, and the weird. It's so weird how the media decides to be all shocked and dismayed and disturbed. Presidents, since we were children, men, have talked about the necessity that
Yeah.
we had for a ballroom.
We got so big, and there is nowhere that you can do a lot of the dining and the hosting for what they want to do.
They put up tents.
They put up tents
Well,
out
that's
there.
probably why the Democrats are mad. It's somebody's cousin's tent company, and they've been able to charge 3 times the amount, 17 times a year.
Bunter Hyden's tents.
Honestly, the new ballroom makes sense. I mean,
I just don't want it to be. I don't want it to. I mean, this is just me. I understand it has to be large. I just don't want it to be bigger than the house itself.
It's going to dwarf the house.
That's just from an aesthetic standpoint.
It's going to dwarf the house.
Well, I don't know that it. I mean, I don't know that, but I mean, if it does, then that's no good. But
Find donors and make the house bigger then.
yeah, let's go.
Yeah, is anybody going to touch that?
I hope they do.
Will the Democrats knock it down if they get into the White House?
No, they're just going to change the name of it.
Somebody said that.
I hope that's
who
true.
said it? Was it Swalwell that said that he wouldn't vote for a Democrat nominee that didn't commit
Yes.
to
Yes.
destroying
That's so
the
ridiculous.
ballroom? That's so stupid.
That's so
It's
stupid.
children is what some of these
well,
folks
I mean,
are.
and now
And it's the
70.
litmus test, right? We got to make sure that you're on board on my team, that you'll destroy this because any remnants of Trump will be evil.
All right, we're going to stop down. We're going to take a quick break. We are live at Legend Steakhouse in Smyrna, Tennessee. We are awaiting Donald
Yeah!
Trump in the State of the Union speech.
Here it comes.
Just a programming reminder, in about 25 minutes when this speech kicks off, you will be able to hear the whole thing in its entirety. 39 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. We are live at Legend Steakhouse in Smyrna, Tennessee. The whole squad is out here. Mandis, Murphy, Benson, and myself. We are getting ready for Donald Trump to take the main stage at the State of the Union address. 21 minutes and counting. I saw J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance rolled in. He's showing up. Is he going to be the guy that does it in 2028?
No,
You don't think so?
Marco.
There's a quick
You
no.
think it's Marco?
Quick no.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's going to be Vance. They keep siloing him away from some of the awkward conversations.
How old is Marco?
what,
He's-
45?
I mean, who's older?
He's-
Vance is younger, right?
Vance is younger, but Marco's young enough where if there was 8 years of Vance,
Well, let's be real.
then you could have.
I would say that I don't know that I would agree that it's Marco, but I will say this. In the last year, Marco Rubio's stock, because clearly there has been a schism between the old school establishment Republicans and MAGA Republicans. And Marco was squarely in that establishment Republican camp.
Yep.
And some questioned Donald Trump when he selected him as his Secretary of State. Chris Hand raises his hand. I liked it. I thought it was a nice bridge. But I had no idea that Marco Rubio would turn into like the jack of all trades. I mean, there's memes about the man.
But
for
let's be honest. There's still a lot of time left.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Vance on the campaign trail, I think, is a different animal than Marco Rubio on the campaign trail. And we still get a lot of problems to solve. Marco Rubio has been a great Secretary of State, but
and director of this and the director of that. And
I think he manages a
head of
Waffle House.
president of Venezuela
right.
and Cuba, and
He was actually he was a forward on the U.S. men's hockey team.
But
I don't know, most people don't know that.
Let's not kid ourselves. When you campaign on no new wars, and we're now looking at bombing Iran for a second time, that can go south really quickly.
Absolutely.
So
100%.
are we still of the position that is kind of a fait accompli, that's going to happen?
Yeah,
that there
we'll see.
has to be some sort of military action.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily convinced that has to happen.
I think that if Trump can get out of there with some sort of a victory, because it's complicated. I know we've all talked about it. Iran is very complicated, not even close to Venezuela as far as trying to regime change and all that. So
Well,
I don't know if Trump actually wants to go in
I don't think
because
he does.
knows how deeply rooted the radical Islamists are.
Venezuela is a different animal. I mean, you had the current power structure essentially taking a knee, and now their vice
Well, they
president
didn't
is
care.
taking orders from Rubio.
Yeah.
But my point is that you're not going to get the same kind of reaction from the Iranian
But
regime.
you have a vast majority of their population is under the age of 35. They don't know who the Shah is. They don't remember all of the stuff prior to that. They want freedoms and opportunities, but the hardliners have the guns. And the reality is they've got stuff that can do damage. I think if we do attack, it'll be one of those situations where they'll fight around us. They'll attack Oman. They'll attack Qatar. They'll go after Israel. They're not going to come straight at us because the repercussions is it's going to become harder and harder. And Raising Cain, right? You know what he said? He said, hey, look, this could be a much bigger quagmire than we realize. This is not Venezuela. This is not a snatch and grab.
Trump called that fake news, though, and he said that Raising Cain said to him he doesn't want war, but they'd win it decisively.
So
He
Well, what's
posted that
the-
on True
what's
Social.
the-
Well, I mean, I
What's
think,
the
I think,
war
I
win
think,
look like?
I mean, military versus military. I mean, if we straight up sent troops over there, I mean, we would kick anybody's ass,
Yeah.
right? I mean, absent perhaps China, I don't think that there's a nation that could stand up to us and fight mano a mano. That said, we all know that the American people, if you start putting boots on the ground in Iran,
There's no
I mean,
appetite.
no,
No.
and people
80%.
would turn against you like that, and Trump base would turn against him if we thought that we were getting into another Afghanistan or another.
Well,
Iraq.
another Iraq. That's the big thing. They're worried about another Afghanistan. We look and we go, you know, we were attacked. They were there. This is it. Iraq. If we get into another one of those situations where, because we're great at the start, bad at sticking the landing.
Well, and it's because they don't. I mean, in the Middle East, and I'm not judging it. I'm just observing it. They don't think the way we do. I mean, they just don't. They don't think of their borders the way that we do. They don't think of the tribals. They have tribalistic attitudes about who they associate with, and so whatever regime comes about as a result of quote unquote regime change, they're not going to recognize those individuals or those groups.
And
So-
that's the problem, though, right? So you can bomb, but ultimately, what's the next step? And nobody seems to know.
How do you walk away while saying we did what we came to do?
Well, so we go in there, right, and it's like it's not going to be the Shah's son who hasn't been there since he was 17, like 40-some years. He hasn't even seen that place.
No, that's a pipe dream.
That is a pipe dream. On top of that, you've got the young that want to pick their path. You've got Israel, whose dream realistically is it becomes Libya and it becomes kind of, or Syria and kind of devolves into chaos. And you've got us. If we go in and do a regime change, we're going to want to put somebody in there we think we can control comparatively to allowing them to pick their own. And we've already done that once before with the Shah.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Long term.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think that from a foreign policy perspective that's a winner. But back to the original point that got us talking about Iran is Rubio versus Vance. These are clearly the two front runners. I mean, I think we all agree on that.
Is there a Trump in there?
I mean, but is there that Chad's going to where I'm going? I mean, but 2 or 3 years out, is there someone else out there that can swing around those two and challenge them for supremacy? I don't see them. I don't know them, but
I number one, I have actually talked about this on my show, where I think that Marco Rubio is the more qualified presidential candidate. However, I think J.D. Vance is the better communicator, and he's got more charisma.
He's got Riz.
He's got Riz.
He's got aura.
So then what do you do with Marco Rubio? Do you make him a running mate? And in my opinion, if you make him a running mate, you've got to expand what a vice president does. Otherwise, leave him in the Secretary of State role.
Is it a demotion to go from Secretary of State
Yes.
to
Yes.
Vice President
Yes.
for Rubio?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, from a perception standpoint, it's not.
No, but the reality of doing the day-to-day job, I think the Secretary of State has much more on display than because Vice President back in the day, we just you go open up supermarkets. That's what it kind of looked like.
All right. You break ties in the Senate, you hang around to make sure the president's healthy, and you do what he tells you to do.
Yeah.
But
Right?
but Trump has used J.D. Vance more strategically, and J.D. Vance has been a really good message defender and a message spreader for the Trump administration. I've noticed that they do use him very strategically, like on the Sunday morning shows and everything. When Trump has to get a message out, he does send J.D. Vance, because J.D. Vance is he's really good at spreading the word.
Plus, Marco's always working.
Well, and Marco, I will
that
say
too.
Marco is good in those settings against the liberal media. I love watching him on the Sunday morning shows when he's pushing back on their narratives regarding whether it's Venezuela or whatever foreign policy initiative it might be. I love watching him push back on that. He does not. I think Marco is good at that pushback. He's not as good at connecting with people the way that J.D. Vance has that. He has that certain je ne sais quoi, as they say.
Rubio's a little bit more autistic than Vance.
He's a little bit more Ted Cruz-y, but polished, right? Because Cruz comes across, I'm the smartest person in the room. Look at me, I'm better than all of you guys. And it's very kind of thing for a lot of people with the Cruz. It's the way it comes off. Here's something. What happens if Trump, they lose the midterms? Next thing you know, he's a lame duck. And everybody's going to start jockeying because Ted Cruz is already putting his feelers out there. He's got people working on his presidential, kind of feelers and putting together a group to go and look. There's going to be some people that are they going to start to turn if they think this thing goes sideways, and you'll start to see a fracture in the next year and a half or so.
You'll absolutely see that.
I mean, there's a power vacuum, right?
There was a time when people were like, well, let's wait and see if Trump is even the nominee. And it was written on the wall that Trump was going to be the nominee.
Yeah.
And I think the same will happen to Vance. I think that you'll see the splintering in the division, but it's going to be Vance.
I liked Ron DeSantis before Ron DeSantis ran for president in 2020.
Yeah, I did too.
2024.
Screwed himself.
Thought he was awful.
He should have stayed patient. If Trump wins the election or loses the election, it's his in 4 years.
And he's a part. You don't challenge the dude, and you're sitting there for the picking for a cabinet position.
Yep.
And you could be a part of the administration and a part of the process for 4. No, I agree. I mean, I love this guy. I'm thinking this is a great guy. He's done great things for Florida. And then he just came out as I mean, I hate to say it this way in mixed company, but pissy on the campaign trail to the point that you're like, I don't know that I can not only support you now, obviously, I don't know that I can support you again.
And he wore high heels
too.
He wore high heels.
A little autistic too. Comes across as that.
Did he really wear high heels?
Yeah.
He had lips. He had lips.
He wore lifts in his boots.
His calves looked great.
Lips. He wore lifts in his boots. I don't know that I would call those high heels.
Well, one of these two did.
They
so
both did, I think.
He wasn't wearing 6-inch stilettos.
I'd call him high heels again, and I'll do it after the break. We got about 11 minutes to go until the State of the Union with President Trump, not President DeSantis, if you're keeping score at home. And we'll talk about DeSantis' high heels and his chances at the presidency on the way. Past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand down here with Dan Mandis, Chad Benson, Matt Murphy, and the most beautiful audience in all of America. We are at Legends Steakhouse in Smyrna, Tennessee. As we get ready for the State of the Union address, we are 5.5 minutes away, anxiously awaiting the president to walk in. Last-minute thoughts before we get into this speech, fellas.
I'm excited. I can't wait to hear what the president has to say. This is a State of the Union speech, much anticipated. I think the president has a lot to be proud of, and I think that I think it's going to be a great year moving forward, especially heading into the midterms.
I'm equally excited about what the president has to say. I'm more excited about, obviously, you and I, all four of us, we talk about this every day. So I think we are well-versed, more so than many, many Americans, as to what has been. I'm very curious what the focus is on what is to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, every president, and, Trump does it in his own way, but every president has that pivot in the State of the Union, right? Where you're talking about, here's what happened, here's what happened, here's what happened, here's what happened. Now, here's what I want to see happen over the next several months into the next year. And I'm very curious what his priorities are there for the economy, whether it's SAVE Act, whether it's foreign policy, Iran. Where does he go?
Absolutely.
Where does he go?
And he's got to be able to reach those people that were with him when they helped him get across the line, when he won the presidency for the second time, and to get them back on board with what's been happening, because I think people are frustrated. They want to feel that they're a part of this and that he's with them and that he just doesn't come out and tell them, hey, everything's great, you should just kind of deal with it.
So the Supreme Court has walked in. I noticed quite a few side eyes for Amy Coney Barrett. But I'm also noticing a lack of Ketanji Brown Jackson. Is she not in attendance?
Well, there was a Broadway show tonight, apparently, that she wanted to be a part
Isn't
of.
it funny they wear their uniforms?
Or is she just going to show up late? is that what's going to happen?
I don't think she's showing. I think she's she's too concerned with being on The View or whatever television program.
That's a pretty strong rebuke. Not showing up when you're healthy. It's
she
one
better,
thing.
She better have diarrhea.
I've actually noticed, Dan, over the last 10 years or so. When we were kids, every single one of them was there.
Yeah.
When Ruth Bader Ginsburg needed a nap, she was always ready to go.
She was always ready to be there. But we've noticed over time where, some of them just kind of,
Really?
And some of them, let's be real, some a little longer in the tooth, right? This is past their bedtime by several hours.
Well,
I did not
Ketanji
see
Brown
Clarence Thomas.
No, I didn't see him. I didn't know if he was going to come tonight. I didn't think he was.
There's Brett Kavanaugh. That was one of the Poly Market bets. Does Brett Kavanaugh get a personal shout-out tonight by the President of the United States? Certainly gave him a shout-out after that dissent opinion regarding tariffs. So who knows if he gets the old shout-out.
His dissent was essentially, man, tariffs didn't work out this way. But it'd be a shame if he did it this way or this way or this way because there's legal precedent for doing it.
Be hard-pressed to do anything about it as a court if you did it this way, Mr. President. Not telling you what to do, but, here it goes.
Oh, by the way, Congress, you should also probably try to do something.
Yeah, do anything.
Anything.
John Thune is awful. Does everybody agree? Does everybody in the audience agree that John Thune has been a terrible majority leader?
Yeah, there's a lot of terribles coming out of the audience. Because it's the Mr. Miyagi principle. If you ever watch Karate Kid, go all the way on the filibuster, one way or the other, but you're stuck in the middle, squished just like grape.
Yep, on the fence. So we are awaiting the president to enter in for the State of the Union address. You'll be able to hear it in its entirety right here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And we are going to be kicking our feet up and enjoying this live at Legends Steakhouse in Smyrna, Tennessee. Enjoy the speech. Thanks for listening to Super Talk 99.7 WTN.